Hello and welcome to Mentoring the Mentors, an institute that accelerates your learning curve. My dear educators, let's discuss today how to go ahead with the art integrated project. I am going to share with you a sample for the paired state. I will be sharing today paired state project for Uttar Pradesh and Arunachal Pradesh. As per the new guidelines, we have to pair the state UP with Arunachal Pradesh. Earlier it was UP with Arunachal Pradesh and Meghalaya. So here is a sample project, my dear educators, that you can share with your students. And based on that, even you can make changes into it as per your requirements. So it's a paired state project. I hope the screen is completely visible to you. Paired state project. So here, dear educators, I have taken one state, Uttar Pradesh, and another one is Arunachal Pradesh. So for that, let's see what sort of activities we can conduct in different subjects, because for classes first till 8th standard, we have to have integrated project where different activities to be conducted, and there can be 2-3 subjects that can dominate and other subject can be there as a supporting subjects in order to complete that project. So let's first talk about what sort of activities can be conducted in mathematics. I'll be giving you two options and accordingly you can explore as per the different topics you have covered, because some of you have covered the number system, some of you have covered the place value, some of you have covered some another, maybe the word problems or other topics are there. So accordingly, you can make changes into that, right? So the first example is for mathematics, like urban versus rural population. Now, what the students they are expected to do is, we want our students to collect data on urban and rural populations of Arunachal Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. They can go ahead, they can research, right? Or if the children, they are younger in the junior classes, primary classes, you can provide them with the data. Like with the given data, they have to interpret and provide us various in different forms, maybe data handling, bar graphs, pie charts, or whatever you have done. Different data handling, it is there for third, fourth, and fifth, right? So calculate the percentage of urban and rural populations in each state. Use the data to create a double bar graph or a pie chart to represent its distribution of urban and rural populations. Now see, as per the different classes, you can make changes into it. For example, you have got the third or fourth standard where the students, they know the place value, they know the number system, they know the Indian and international number system, right? They know the Roman numbers also. Then you may ask your children, like the given figures, when they are being given, now they have to mention the same through Roman numerals. They have to mention the same in international pattern. They have to write the number names for it, right? Maybe they have to add, subtract, or you can give some story sums based on the given figures or the data. And going ahead with the data handling, you can ask your children to present the same in various forms of data handling, pictograph or whatever it is there as per their syllabus. As per the progression, you have to give the assignment to your students. Now they're doing the same thing what is they are doing in the class, but they are taking the data or the base. What is that? The Arunachal Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh data related to the population, because we have taken the base as population. Now, why we have taken the base as population, this I will tell you in the next slides, right? Though you can talk about anything. You can talk about food, you can talk about clothes, you can talk about monuments, you can talk about heritage, talk culture, dances, folk songs, right? Sports. You can take any of the topic as per the topics covered in your class in any of the subjects, and then you can integrate different subjects, right? Now, one more option is there for mathematics. You can ask your children to make a list of the famous cities of both the states and then go ahead with the comparison. Now, what sort of comparison they can do? Select the famous cities. They can be any. I have given here the choice like Arunachal Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. Famous places are Itanagar and Lucknow. And collect the population data for these cities over a period of time. They can research, or you can also provide the same to the little ones. Now, they'll be able to create line graphs, comparison, bar graphs to display the population trends of the selected cities, right? You can take any cities, you can take more number of cities also, and then you can ask your children to arrange the same in ascending order, descending order, right? To present the same in the form of a bar graph or any other kind of data handling, or you can share the story sums also. So now based on the data that you have provided, or maybe they are researching. So we are talking about primary and the middle school students. Accordingly, I mean, what all is there in the syllabus, what all you have covered so far, accordingly, you can give it to your students so that they can go ahead with that. What all part of the curriculum you have not completed till now? For example, anything like you have not talked about fractions in a particular class, then don't go ahead with the fractions. If you have already completed the fraction part, then you may ask your children to present the same on a pie chart in the form of a fractions, maybe write the same in a form of a fraction. Right. So whatever syllabus is covered, so based on that only the homework is to be assigned to the students. And also do not think like children will be doing the same completely at their home, or maybe the parents, they'll be helping them out. No ways. You have to start the same in the school itself, guide them, give them instructions, and then only like just put them on a track, unki ungli pakad kar unko right track par daliye and let them go ahead with that. Let them complete the same, and when they come back to the school again, talk about what all things have been covered, where do they require help, spend 1 week at least with them, and then give them time to present the same. Like they can also refer to the presentations of the other students also. It's not like that, I mean, students, they are doing and they have to hide their projects from others. No, we are not talking about competition, we are talking about collaboration. Let them discuss with each other. You can also showcase some samples that are really very good. You can appreciate the work, and accordingly students can make changes in their project. Don't be hard, don't be rigid with them, and again give them at least 5-10 days or maybe a week or so, so that they can change and then they can submit the same, right? Give them time to do the needful. Projects cannot be done overnight, okay? And certainly they require your help, and you have to create the rubrics for it also, that I will discuss in my next video. And along with homework, you need to submit the rubrics also. Share the rubrics with the students so that they'll be able to know if they are eligible to get these very marks as per the rubrics, or what is the criteria. Share the same with them, right? So moving ahead, my dear educators, if I talk about Hindi language, you can, I'm giving just one example, you can go ahead with any other, right? So as I have told you, I'll be telling you later on like why we have taken this chapter. And today one of my teachers, she was discussing with me, like there is a chapter बढ़ती जनसंख्या in Hindi. तो हिंदी में बढ़ती जनसंख्या का चैप्टर है. आई वांट टू टेक द सेम एज अ बेस एंड आई वांट टू इंटीग्रेट अदर सब्जेक्ट्स विद दैट. व्हाई ऑलवेज वी हैव टू टेक साइंस एज अ बेस और मे बी सोशल साइंस एज अ बेस. सो दिस टाइम वी आर टेकिंग बढ़ती जनसंख्या जो चैप्टर है हिंदी में, उसको बेस लेकर फिर बाकी सब्जेक्ट्स को उसके साथ इंटीग्रेट कर रहे हैं. तो दैट्स व्हाई आई हैव मेंशन्ड हियर रेफरेंस चैप्टर गिवन इन द हिंदी टेक्स्ट बुक, दैट इज बढ़ती जनसंख्या. तो मैंने यहाँ पर क्या लिखा है कि छात्रों को ये कहकर कि एक वाद विवाद प्रबंध लिखने के लिए कहें कि अरुणाचल प्रदेश और उत्तर प्रदेश में जनसंख्या वृद्धि का जन्मदाता है या समस्या, राइट? तो उनको इसके बारे में डिबेट लिखनी है. आप एक ही बच्चे को दोनों पक्ष के बारे में भी लिखने के लिए बोल सकते हैं, या फिर आप अपनी क्लास में ग्रुप्स बना के बता सकते हैं कि किसको फेवर में लिखना है, किसको अगेंस्ट में लिखना है. और जब वो बच्चे लिखकर लेकर आएंगे क्लास में, आप उसका वाद विवाद प्रतियोगिता कराएंगे, राइट? एंड आप उसके रेफरेंसेस, जो उसकी जो पिक्चर्स क्लिक होंगी, उसका जो रिकॉर्ड होगा, उनकी जो प्रेजेंटेशन होगी बेस्ड ऑन द रूब्रिक्स, वो भी बच्चों के इस प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर ही जाएगा, राइट? लेटर ऑन यू विल ऐड द सेम. उन्हें सहायक साक्ष्य और उदाहरण के साथ अपने तर्कों को प्रस्तुत करना चाहिए. ये आपके रूब्रिक्स में आएंगे कि आपके सहायक, आपके एविडेंसेस, आपके तर्क, आपके फैक्ट्स को प्रस्तुत उसके साथ ही करना है. तो ये सारी चीजें होनी चाहिए. तो यू हैव टू मेंशन द सेम इन द रूब्रिक्स. जहां उन्हें जनसंख्या वृद्धि से संबंधित चुनौतियों और अवसरों पर ध्यान देना चाहिए, राइट? दिल टेक केयर कि क्या इसमें चैलेंजेस आ रहे हैं, क्या इसकी अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं. तो पूरा स्वॉट एनालिसिस है. छात्रों को दोनों राज्यों में जनसंख्या वृद्धि को प्रबंधित करने के लिए संभावित समाधानों और नीतियों की सिफारिश करनी चाहिए कि क्या क्या जो है आप इसके लिए सुजेस्ट करते हो कि जनसंख्या वृद्धि को प्रबंधित करने के लिए, रोकने के लिए क्या समाधान, क्या सुजेशंस हैं आपकी, क्या स्टेप्स लेने चाहिए. तो वो सारे पॉइंट्स को कवर कर रहे हैं. तो ये सारे क्या हैं आपके पैरामीटर्स ऑफ द रूब्रिक्स. डिस्क्रिप्टर्स आप उसमें दे देंगे, सारी चीजें उनके साथ एक्सप्लेन कर देंगे. राइट तो आप इसके अलावा किसी और चीज के लिए भी कर सकते हैं. जस्ट गिवन यू वन एग्जांपल. डोंट जस्ट स्टिक टू दिस ओनली, बट what all things you are doing in your class, you are going ahead with the संवाद लेखन, you're going ahead with any other thing, maybe डायरी एंट्री भी लिखवाते हैं आप बच्चों से, राइट और भी जो जो चीजें करवाते हैं आप उसमें से कोई भी चीज बच्चों से उस तरीके से करवाना चाहे एज पर योर सिलेबस. निबंध लेखन है, वाद विवाद है या कुछ भी है, तो मैंने ये इस तरीके से सोचकर बनाया है कि आधा बच्चा काम घर पे करके आएगा, उसके बाद आप डिबेट क्लास में कंडक्ट कराएंगे और उसके बाद बच्चों को फीडबैक देंगे रूब्रिक्स के बेसिस पर. पीयर असेसमेंट भी इसका कराएंगे, सेल्फ असेसमेंट भी इसका करवा सकते हैं, टीचर के इवैल्यूएशन तो होगा ही, पेरेंट का असेसमेंट भी करा सकते हैं कि पेरेंट्स ने क्या देखा, कि बच्चे ने डेटा कैसे कलेक्ट किया है, हाउ डिड द चाइल्ड डू. तो इसके बेसिस पर बहुत सारी एक्टिविटीज करवाई जा सकती हैं. नाउ इफ आई टॉक अबाउट द क्वीन ऑफ लैंग्वेजेस इंग्लिश, इसमें मैंने एक दो एक्टिविटीज आपके साथ में शेयर करूंगी. यू कैन गो बियॉन्ड ऑल्सो. एंड द फर्स्ट वन इज अ न्यूज पेपर आर्टिकल. You may assign students to write a newspaper article addressing the population-related issues in Arunachal Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. We are taking the base as population. So they are writing a newspaper article. Now, different students, they are writing a newspaper article. You can publish your own class magazine. You can publish your school magazine also, where the students, they are sharing the newspaper articles. Or you may ask them to write a blog on that, right? So you may ask them to record a video on the same. I mean, any form, persuasive essays, argumentations, I mean, whatever they want to go ahead with that. As per, maybe you can give them options, or you can just give the same as per your syllabus, and they should research and report on topics such as urbanization, healthcare, education, infrastructure, or environmental concerns. Students should present a balanced perspectives incorporating interviews, statistics and expert opinions to provide an informative and engaging article. तो इसमें इतनी सारी चीजें, इतने सारे फैक्टर्स लिखे हुए हैं, बिकॉज आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट प्राइमरी से मिडिल क्लासेस तक की बात कर रही हूँ. तो आपको एज ग्रुप के अकॉर्डिंगली प्रोग्रेशन को देखते हुए यू कैन डिसाइड व्हाट ऑल पॉइंट्स यू वांट कवर फॉर द प्राइमरी क्लासेस एंड व्हाट ऑल यू वांट ऐड more maybe for the middle classes and then going ahead with the senior ones. Today we are talking from class first till 8th standard. Like these sort of activities can be done in the classes, right? So the more the higher is the class, the more should be the parameters, the more should be the content, the more should be the research aspect. So accordingly you can give it to your students. Right now, one more activity for the English, that's creative writing. High levels of the Bloom's taxonomy. Your children, they are very creative, as you all are. So, my dear educators, you may ask your students to write a short story or a poem highlighting the experiences and challenges faced by individuals living in densely populated areas of Arunachal Pradesh or Uttar Pradesh. So, ask them to just empathize, just feel the situation, right? And then they will be able to compose a poem or maybe write a short story, whatever you want them to do. Maybe it can be acrostic poem, it can be any other poem, it can be a small stanza, maybe it can be an individual activity or a collaborative activity. I mean, howsoever you want to go ahead with that. Now, during holidays, they can again also collaborate with each other. They can work on Google Docs, right? And they can together do the same. And there are a number of other tools also. You have explored a lot during online teaching, during pandemic, like number of tools are there where the collaboration that can happen. And they can explore themes such as community, resilience, cultural diversity, or the impact of population growth on individual lives. So they can write essay on that. Persuasive essay can also be written. Students should use descriptive language and vivid imagery to convey the emotions and experiences of the character in their writing. So what all genres, what all imageries you have covered, you have taught to your students, you may ask them to include the same. For example, the little ones, you have covered adjectives and adverbs, common nouns, proper nouns. You may ask them to use these particular common nouns, right? Or maybe when they are writing the same, they have to highlight, like wherever they have used the adjectives or the common nouns or maybe the new words, vocabulary, they have to mention the meanings of the same, right? As per your syllabus, like you are covering your syllabus also, killing two birds with one stone. They are doing the project also, and you are covering your syllabus also, right? Or if you want to give any comprehension to your student, because you need to enhance the comprehension skills of your students, you can provide them like what all infographic they have created in mathematics. So based on that, they have to interpret and write the same in the English language. So one subject is being used as a base for the activity of the next subject. So there is the integration. That is the integration. You don't have to go ahead with the standalone activities. So at the end of this video, we will be talking about how they are integrated with each other. Now, going ahead with the sciences, let's talk about resource management. When we are talking about population, now we have created infographic. Based on that infographic, either the student, they'll be writing an article or a blog, or they will be writing in Hindi, talking about the Vad Vivad and all, right? And in the previous slide also, we have talked about the creative writing poem, or maybe paragraph writing, or anything else they want to go ahead with it. The story writing in the form of a story also, they can present the same. They can be very, very creative. And talking about resource management, that is sustainability. So you may ask your students to study the resource management challenge faced by AP and UP due to their population size. Obviously, when the population size is more, right, requirement is more, and there is scarcity of the resources, how are they managing? What sort of challenges they must be facing? Now, or maybe how are they overcoming those challenges? They can focus on the topics such as water scarcity, energy consumption, agriculture practices, land use. Students should analyze the sustainable use of resources, alternative energy resources, conservation strategies to ensure long-term resource availability. So here you can integrate all different sustainable development goals. There are 17 SDGs. So from that, you can integrate as many SDGs as you want. You can talk about no poverty, zero hunger, talk about quality education. Obviously, more number of people are there, so that will be affecting the quality of each and everything, right? So such kind of projects to be given. So I am talking about UP and AP. You can go ahead with any kind of paired state or any topic you can take, like food, right? You can talk about food, you can talk about dresses, go ahead with the fashion designing, you can go ahead with like monuments, how and why to preserve the monuments. You can talk about like any other, like tourism also. Tourism is directly related to the protection of the our monuments and all, our heritage and culture. Talking about social sciences, population distribution and density, you go ahead with your map work with your students, right? So ask them to present. First of all, they should know where is AP and UP located on the map, or whatever state you are taking. So you may ask your student to analyze the population distribution pattern in AP and UP, and they can showcase the same on map. They can create population density map or the diagrams highlighting the region with high and low population densities in both the states. कहाँ पर population dense है, कहाँ पर जो है वो low dense है, तो उसके accordingly they can go ahead with that. Students should identify the factors influencing population distribution such as geography, infrastructure, economic opportunities, right? So whatever you want to go ahead with that, I have just given some samples. What is there in the syllabus, you can connect the same with that. If there is something related to the crops also, there is something related to export and import also, if you wanna add, you are free to do that, right? So now if I talk about computers, so I'm giving you number of options. Either you can give standalone a computer related activity, and your students they can integrate other subjects with this, because to reach this at the presentation level, they have to do the basic steps. Maybe they are doing basic steps related to sciences, social sciences, mathematics, or maybe both the languages, or maybe more than that languages also. Finally, they have to present the same. Either they are presenting in a hard copy their project, or you may ask your student to come up with interactive population simulation using Scratch. I have given here 4 or 5 options. Why I have mentioned Scratch? Because in some of the classes, there is a topic, this software they are learning about Scratch also, right? So you can go ahead with any of the software that the children they are using. Ask the students to create an interactive population simulation using Scratch, a visual programming language. They can design sprites representing individuals, program their behavior to simulate population growth, migration, and demographic changes. Students should add user interaction, provide information feedback to demonstrate the impact of different factors on population dynamics. जो आपके students ने different subjects में किया है, उस चीज को वो scratch programming के through they are presenting the same. Now whatever is their learning, they are presenting the same through it. अगर आपके बच्चे scratch नहीं पढ़ रहे हैं, no worries. Your paintbrush, your children they learn maybe the 3D paint they are doing. Maybe there are other forms of paint also. I mean, innovative softwares are there. The children they are using. I have taken the simplest one, paintbrush. You can go ahead with any as per the children's choice. You can ask your students to create infographic using paintbrush that visually represents the population statistics of Arunachal Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh that they have collected and they have done during their mathematics project. And they can design graphs, charts, diagrams to showcase population growth, density, age structure, and other relevant data. Students, they should include the key factors and the figures to present a clear, concise overview of the population dynamics in both states. So now they are using paintbrush. Paintbrush as a mode or the medium of presentation. Presenting what? Presenting what all they have done in the different subjects under the title population analysis. Now, Word everybody is using. Students, they are using, they're typing their names on that. If you do not want to give the project and paintbrush or scratch, go ahead with the Microsoft Word. Google Docs also, you can go ahead with that. Assign students to conduct a detailed analysis of the population of AP and UP using Microsoft. I mean, they'll be presenting the same, the detailed analysis. They'll be writing a report. Report writing can be in English language, can be in Hindi language. They can create tables to organize the population data. They can insert the tables. They can import the tables, connect the same with Excel, right? So they can do the same. Whatever they have done in mathematics, and students should utilize formatting tool. आप इसके ऊपर जो rubrics बनाएंगे उसमें आप mention करेंगे कि word जो use किया है उसके कितने formatting options use किए हैं. Header है, राइट, फूटर है, हेडिंग है, टेबल है, डिजाइन है, राइट, बोल्ड किया है कि नहीं, कलर्ड बैकग्राउंड है कि नहीं, इमेजेस यूज करी है कि नहीं, राइट, क्लिप आर्ट यूज करना है कि नहीं. तो व्हाट ऑल फीचर्स यू हैव टॉट टू योर स्टूडेंट्स, यू कैन हाईलाइट दोज फीचर्स एंड बेस्ड ऑन दैट क्रिएट द रूब्रिक्स फॉर द सेम, राइट. सो ये तो एक और प्रोजेक्ट हो गया, और भी है हमारे पास. लाइक गोइंग हैड विद द पावरपॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन. एवरीबॉडी नोज, अगर मैं यहाँ पर आपके साथ कोई चीजें शेयर करती हूँ, आई गो हैड विद द पावरपॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन. एंड टुडेज प्रेजेंटेशन आई हैव मेड इन स्वे. You can go ahead with sway also, जो भी आपके students use करते हैं. Now presentation on population trends using Microsoft PowerPoint, right? What you have to do, ask your students to create a PowerPoint presentation on the population trends in AP and UP. उनमें population का क्या pattern है, क्या trend है, तो आप किसमें बनाएंगे वो? PowerPoint presentation में. What they have to present? The key findings that they have done in different subjects. They should include slides discussing causes and the consequences of population growth. Migration की वजह से population बढ़ी है, या socio economic impacts हैं. Students can incorporate images, graphs, multimedia elements. थोड़ा videos भी add करना चाहें वो भी कर सकते हैं, खुद रिकॉर्ड करी हुई. अगर आपकी एक स्टेट तो आप अपनी ही ले रहे हो ना पेयर स्टेट के साथ. लाइक I'm going ahead with UP and AP. The UP suppose is the state of my students. So they can collect the data, they can record the videos, and they can upload the same. Right? And AP, they can again explore the internet and go ahead with the pictures. Right? And students can incorporate images, graphs, and make it visually appealing, engaging, and informative. इसमें भी आप rubrics में एक चीज आगे add on कर सकते हो कि make sure जो pictures use होंगी वो सिर्फ creative commons होंगी, like उसमें copyright का issue नहीं होता. So they can go ahead with the same, or they can check the pictures from free pick also. So number of those platforms you should share with the students, like there should not be any copyright issue. So the same can be done. Now, another one, go ahead with the Excel. You know, your students, let them excel using Excel. So assign the students to analyze, compare population data of AP and UP using Microsoft Excel. क्या करेंगे इसमें? Data interpret करेंगे, उसमें different formulas लगाएंगे, जो percentage भी उसकी निकालेंगे, उसके different तरीके के वो presentation through pie charts, bar graph, line chart, कितने variety के वहां पर हैं, आपके students को आपने क्या क्या सिखाया है, तो accordingly go ahead with that. They can create spreadsheets to calculate population growth rates, percentage change, demographic indicators, जो कि मैंने आपको बताया अभी. And students should use formulas, charts, pivot tables to perform data analysis and present their finding effectively. अब आपको उसमें डेटा करने के बाद में फिल्टर बच्चों को लगाने के लिए कहना है, अरेंज करने के लिए कहना है, राइट, और उसकी प्रेजेंटेशन डिफरेंट करनी है. व्हाट ऑल थिंग्स यू वांट योर स्टूडेंट्स टू, मेक श्योर यू इन्फॉर्म द सेम टू देम. सो थैंक यू माय लवली एजुकेटर्स for watching Mentoring the Mentors. If you want to know more about such kinds of ideas so that you can share creative projects with your students and know about creative ways of making your students interactive in the classes, making your classes engaging, enriching, and it's exciting, just you have to do one thing: like, subscribe, and share Mentoring the Mentors. Stay tuned. Thank you. Have a nice day.